Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Today, let me answer some doubts and let me answer some comments, queries in the comments for Dviguru Yoga, that is the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter. So, I have a lot of questions, but I'll be answering those which are more relevant. Question by Pauline Tran. Jupiter and Venus conjunct in Pisces for a Taurus ascendant. So we know that for Taurus, Jupiter falls in the 11th house in Pisces, and for Taurus ascendant, Venus is the Lagnadipati, that is the ascendant lord. So when these two are placed in the 11th house, it gives rise to a very strong Dviguru yoga and also a different kind of a yoga. I will tell you what actually it is, because it is for growth. The Lagnadipati Venus is also the 6th lord, being the lord of Libra. So the 6th lord has joined with the 8th lord, and 6 and 8 are in the 11th house, which gives rise to beneficial yoga for acquiring parental property, getting blessings, that is blessing with regard to profit making through investments, through parental property or any other property investments. 6th house in the 11th house, Upachaya Sthanadipati, in another, the biggest Upachaya, that is the 11th house, will give very good yoga for profits. But everything else of profit and money making is good. But with regard to Roga, the 6th lord going to the 11th house, being the Lagnadipati, might give a different kind of Deha Kashta yoga, like diabetes, like obesity, like hormonal dysfunction, because Jupiter is also the 8th lord. On a overall view for Taurus ascendant, Dviguru yoga in the 11th house is good, because Jupiter is in its own sign and Venus is the ascendant lord. So the second question is by Pragati Tiwari. Pragati Tiwari is asking, for a Leo ascendant, in Leo ascendant in 8th house, will it give good result or bad? Okay. For a Leo ascendant, if Jupiter and Venus are placed in the 8th house, so the same placement for Leo, when Jupiter and Venus are both placed in the sign of Pisces, Venus is now the 3rd and the 10th lord, along with, for Leo, the 5th and the 8th lord, Jupiter, in the 8th house. Extremely strong position for passionate drive to do something in life. The problem is, if the ascendant lord is weak, you get distracted and you go out of your path, and you get into too many things which you will not be able to do anything at all. So if you are having the, I tell PPC, patience, perseverance and commitment, that is focus, then you will be able to achieve a lot of things in your life. 8th house, Venus and Jupiter is considered to be bad, but for this particular Lagna, that is Leo ascendant, Venus is considered as a malefic, and when posited in the 8th house, is extremely good for your professional rise. You get very good positions in your life. So you yourself should not spoil it because of your over enthusiastic expectations. That is the 8th house. So the third question is by Abhinav Singh. I have Jupiter and Venus conjunction in the 10th house in the D1 chart with Scorpio rising. So Scorpio rising 10th house means that it's placed in Leo. So for Scorpio, so it is 10th house. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So 10th house. So what is placed there? Jupiter and Venus. The next question he continues telling that in the D9 chart with the same ascendant, Scorpio rising, that is it's a Vargottama Lagna, it is in the 9th house, that is Jupiter and Venus are in Cancer. There is something weird in my chart that planets are not leaving each other, that is they are not separating from each other, they are not going away from each other in the divisional charts. I also have Saturn and Moon conjunction in both D1 and D9. Don't know what is my karma. When planets are not getting separated, it very clearly shows that they are in certain degrees, either in the same nakshatra, not either in the same nakshatra, they are in the same nakshatra, in the same amsha, that is the same pada, that is, in this case we can very easily make out Jupiter and Venus in the D1 is in Leo, that is the 10th house, and from there, if they have to fall in the Navamsha of Cancer, which is the nakshatra and pada they are sitting in, we can find out. For example, Cancer Navamsha starts from Cancer itself. The Leo's Navamsha will start from the 9th from it, that is from Pisces. So, how much you should count till Cancer? Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, 5th. So, that is both Jupiter and Venus are placed in the 5th Amsha of Leo. The 5th Amsha of Leo has, the first Amsha is Makha first pada, Makha second pada, Makha third pada, Makha fourth pada, and after that you have Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, that is Venus's Nakshatra, first pada. So they are in Pubba 1. So Pubba 1 falls in Cancer. Makha, Pubba. No, I think I have made a mistake. That's why I stopped here, because I made a mistake. The 9th from Leo is not Pisces. I'm sorry. So the 9th from Leo is Aries. So the Navamsha of Leo starts from Aries. So if the count from Aries is 1, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, the 4th Amsha. The 4th Amsha means it is in Makha 1, 2, 3, 4. So Makha Nakshatra 4th Pada. That means your Jupiter and Venus both are in the same Nakshatra Pada in the one chart. And also in a particular degree, for the D9 chart I am talking. In the D10 chart, something else we need to see. But for the D9 chart, this is how you have to see where the Amsha Kundali's Amsha is placed in that particular Amsha Kundali. So, Makha Nakshatra 4th Pada is where Jupiter and Venus both are placed. And same way, I think your Saturn and Moon also should be conjunct within the same one of the nakshatras and its single pada, and that is why they don't separate in the D9 chart also. So there is nothing very special about it. Many charts I have seen where planets keep moving around even to the D30th chart also, because they are conjunct within minutes, not even degrees, minutes. So, Venus Jupiter conjunction in the 10th house for Scorpio rising is an extremely good position, being the 5th Lord Jupiter placed in the 10th house and the 12th Lord Venus in the 10th house can give you extraordinary, professional advantage if you work abroad. So you are far away from your place, like whether if you are in Delhi, if you are born in Delhi, then if you are working somewhere in Bangalore, you will make a lot of money and progress. So let's go to the next one. Sorry, I made a calculation mistake when I was calculating from Leo. From Leo, the ninth house is not Pisces, it is Aries. So I also get sometimes, by doing some calculations, I go somewhere. Anyway, so music is medicine. Now the name is not there. He has a beautiful, infant Krishna sleeping in his DP. We have music is medicine is the name. He has asked me a question. Respected sir, will this hold true for this combination in the D9 chart also? We will not discuss about the yogas in Amsha Kundalis just like that because they have a lot of depth to be discussed there. We need to go through from which placement they have come to that Amsha. We need to see that. It's not that a combination in the D9 chart doesn't mean that they are also having conjunction in the D1 chart. They might be sitting in different places, having the same position in the D9 chart. So it's not easy for us to explain. It is case specific. So we are not supposed to do it here. So it is not shown in the classics that it holds good. So Subbalakshmi Venkatadri has asked me, Venus and Jupiter conjunct in the 3rd house along with Moon and Mars in Virgo for Virgo ascendant. 3rd house for Virgo falls in Scorpio. So she is asking about Venus, Jupiter, Moon, Mars, 4 planets are there most in her chart, I think, and that's why she's made a hilarious comment telling that I know why my daughter always says, Amma, would you please stop your preaching? So so the 3rd house Jupiter, I had given that particular thing telling that you have 2 major bright planets like Venus and Jupiter in the 3rd house. Communication, you unnecessarily preach, you teach, you give free explanation, advices to people, which even the daughter is telling that please stop your preaching to me. So anyway, all daughters or sons do that. So going into the next question, Sunil Anand. Jupiter is at 20 degree in Cancer sign and Venus is at 0 degree in Leo sign. Can we consider this as a conjunction of these 2 planets? There is a 10 degree difference between Jupiter and Venus now because from Cancer to Leo, the remaining degrees are only 10. But 10 degrees is also huge for these 2 planets. It's very difficult for them to give good results. Anything less than 7 degrees, I would call this conjunction very powerful. But still, Venus and Jupiter can be considered conjunct in your chart. If they are taking control of a particular house, let us say they both fall into the same house in the Bhava Kundali, this conjunction can be considered in the Bhava Kundali. Very slight, let's say 50% of strength. So, Happy Mahesh has commented telling, Guruji Namaste, whatever you have explained absolutely correct, but my both combination in Makara Rashi in 10th Bhava. Makara Rashi is not who told any Rashi is bad or good. So 10th placement, Makar Rashi, maybe Jupiter gets debilitated, and that is why you might have that apprehension that Jupiter might give you negative effects. But I don't think you should be that worried about it. Jupiter also will give good effects, being the ninth lord from your ascendant sign of Aries. So it's a good placement for Jupiter in the 10th house for Aries. So Utkarsh Mohnot has asked, if I have this combination in the 7th house in Lagna chart and 8th house in Chalit for Sagittarius ascendant, it is to be taken from the Chalit chart only, the Bhava Chalit chart, equal Bhava method only I am talking about, that whether this combination is in the 7th or the 8th can be decided only from the Chalit chart, not from the Rashi Kundali. Rashi Kundali is only to be seen on which nakshatra the planet is placed, on which nakshatra pada it's placed, which amsha it goes through, all the degree combinations. But if you need to understand the house placement, this combination is in the 8th house. Sagittarius ascendant being placed in Gemini but giving the results of the 8th house. That doesn't make Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Don't think that from Sagittarius 8th house means it goes to Cancer. No, it is in Gemini, but because of the longitudinal displacement from the Lagna to the Jupiter and Venus combination, it has gone to the 8th house. So the 8th house combination, as I have explained earlier, will give too much of expectations, and that will tire you down. You need to show patience. So going ahead, Elaine Lee has asked a very, very strong question. Sir, would you consider Jupiter-Venus sign exchange for this yoga? That is, if there is a Rashi Parivartana, that is, Jupiter is sitting in Venus's sign and Venus is sitting in Jupiter's sign. So, a very simple example, if Jupiter is placed in Taurus and Venus is placed in Pisces, whether Dviguru Yoga will happen. No, Dviguru Yoga will not happen because they do not have immediate mutual, influence. It doesn't happen. There is another question associated with this, whether if they are in 180 degrees from each other, whether Dviguru Yoga will happen. No, it will not happen because they become conflicting planets. Here now together they are inimical. But still, when they become 1-7, they are still called inimical but opposite. They are opposition. They fight each other's forces. Here, they join together, whether it is good or bad, they give you effects. So, Parimal has asked me, thank you for this video on the Yuti, that is the yoga of both the gurus in this video. Good houses for this conjunction is mentioned. Please inform which are the best signs as well. So, all those signs in which Jupiter gets the strength or Venus gets its strength, all those nakshatras in which Jupiter gets strength and Venus gets strength are good for the placement. Because one of the planets will start, taking control of this combination. So, the tendency also will go towards that side. If Venus takes the strength, it will go towards more practical implementation, fine arts. And if Jupiter takes the strength, it will go more towards theoretical and accomplishments and teaching and more about the other part of the knowledge. So it's these both fellows are very strong. Aryan has asked me, thank you, appreciate your classes and discussions. Could you please do a practical class that encompasses analysis of a Bhava chart in comparison with Rashi, strength of each planet, how to determine if each planet is positive or negative? This is a huge question. I will have to do a lot of videos to satisfy this question. Let us see. God, time permits, I will do all this. I have to do, I will do all that. So, Zulfia, the last question for today, Zulfia has asked me, thank you so much, sir. I have this conjunction in my 4th house in the D1 chart, Pisces ascendant. So 4th house for Pisces ascendant is Gemini, and being the Lagna Lord in the 4th house, Sukhasthana, It will give a lot of happiness through knowledge. And the third lord, Venus, gives a lot of happiness through writing articles, posting blog sites, answering people. So psychological, counseling. So what she is doing is, yeah, she has written that it is 10:30 at night, but my brain is craving for knowledge and information, always hungry for knowledge and information. That happens to many people, but Venus, Jupiter in the fourth house, people would crave to study lot of subjects. Fifth house, it will be more vibrant. So thank you very much for today's class. I think I have completed all the doubts for Dviguru Yoga Part 1 video. Thank you.